I like that you are a weapon around the locker room. I think you look good. I want to talk about last night with the visor. Was there any change? Did you feel different? I know you wore it in college. And how long is this going to last, you think, with this massive nose and snoz that you have going on right now?
Hopefully not too long, but I think kind of going back to last year, I put the glove on after week 1 when I had a little hand injury and, a little nose injury, put the visor on. So we might have to keep rocking it. We'll see how it goes.
I think it looked cool. Let's put a little tin on there. Why not? Let's go ahead and get the sleeve on. Let's start swagging out here a little bit. Yeah, maybe the mirror. Yeah, maybe the mirror.
I know he has the red one. I think he has the red visor too.
Oh, something to think about. Okay, let's not do
it. Training camp.
The red one, right?
Yeah.
Sweet. Let's do that. Let's do that again. We need the MVP wearing a red visor out there, especially for the last year in that particular stadium. And obviously, Bills Mafia shows up every single night, and last night was no difference. Let's talk about your offense. Kirk Herbstreit said last night during the game, and I've mentioned it a couple times because this is what the expectation is of your offense now. He said if the Miami Dolphins defense can get a stop, I think they should view that as a success. And I think he would have said that about a lot of defenses right now. What is it about your offense that has you guys clicking so much, and what are you excited about with this year's particular offense?
Yeah, I think we just got a lot of guys that can do a lot of different things. Obviously, we're running the ball really well. James Cook looks like he's shot out of a cannon every time he touches the football. Our O-line is doing such a good job of communicating and working together. In the passing game, we got guys that are in the right spots. Teams are typically playing some soft zones against us, which there's just some underneath stuff that we're just going to keep taking until they take it away. So, part of the reason that I think we're so, we're having such success is, again, guys know what they're doing. They're in the right spots. And then when there's plays to be made, they're being made.
Yeah, and you're an alien. Go ahead, AJ. That's probably why as well. Go ahead, AJ.
I'm thinking as a D coordinator, if they're thinking of facing you guys, like the week leading up to it, you can't really point one guy. Like, you distribute the ball so well. You guys can run the ball so well, throw the ball, anything. Is that a huge advantage for you, thinking like, hey, there's no telling where I'm going to go with this ball. I'm going to take what you guys give me, what is open, as opposed to some teams sometimes when they want to jam and make sure a guy gets 10, 15 targets?
Yeah, we don't have to worry about that. I think, again, the types of men that we have in our locker room, especially in the receiver and tight end position, nobody's begging for the ball. They understand that they're going to have opportunities throughout the game, and it's not going to be, like you said, 10 to 15, but they're going to get 5 or 6 opportunities to go make something happen. And to be able to start into the field, to the boundary, to the slot, like all our concepts, they're varied. A lot of things look alike in our offense. Joe Brady and our offensive staff do a great job of presenting different concepts from the same look. And it makes it tough on defenses, but it makes it fun playing the quarterback position.
It's fun watching your offense operate because it's like a well-oiled machine. And also, I said you're an alien. It's like you're one of one, brother. You're what everybody is hoping to get whenever they draft a quarterback. Whenever we go back to your draft, obviously your first year was what it was. Second year was what it was. Third year was what it was. From that point to becoming an MVP to where you're at now, like, obviously you had to have the vision of it. And is that the main motivator, is you knew what you could be? Or what was kind of the offseason development process for you year after year? Because you've gotten better this year too. Every offseason you get better seemingly. Is that because you have a vision of what you can be, or how do you kind of get to that point?
100%. I think it goes back to, being the high school kid that wasn't getting any offers, knowing that I could play at the Division I level, and then getting to the Division I level thinking that I could play in the NFL. Just having that internal belief and working hard, and make no mistake, it's taken an army to get me here. There's a lot of people in my life that I can thank and played their part in what's going on, but ultimately I'm just trying to go out there. I work really hard with the guys on the football field throughout the weeks and throughout the off seasons, and I'm just going out there. I just want to have fun. I just want to play some football. You see the little flip there to Jack, his first touchdown. But guys work hard, and we have a lot of fun in Buffalo. It's a pretty tight unit, and we love playing ball.
Jack needed that. He almost slipped and fell on this play, and he also got called for a penalty that wasn't on him. I mean, he had a rough go there for a little bit, and then you give him a sick touchdown. That's a good moment for all the Buffalo Bills fans. Ty has a question for you about Bills Mafia.
Yeah, Josh, when you look at everything, and they've mentioned this not just on the game last night, but, in the media the last several weeks about how, kind of taking everything in with this being the last season at you guys' current stadium before you move on. When you kind of put all of that together together, does it kind of have the makings, and does it feel like something special is about to happen? Because people are already starting to, form that storyline of like, can you imagine how crazy Buffalo would go if they would, win a Super Bowl in the last season in this stadium before they kind of set off on this new era? Can you feel that?
100%. I have vivid dreams of it. I think it's obviously storybook ending for the stadium. But at the end of the day, it's my belief that it's already written. I'm just trying to see what God's got played out and laid out for us and this team. And I'm just going out there and just trying to, like I said, play football and have fun and do what I think I was put on this earth to do.
Were you put on this earth to make sure that those bison at that new stadium are, you know what I mean?
60 feet tall?
Make them bigger. Got to make them bigger.
Boom. There it is.
I like where your head's at, bro.
You can make it.
I want to let you know. I like where you can definitely make that. I think you could probably make anything happen. New stadium looks awesome. They gave like the inside view of it last night on Amazon Prime. How much of that are you guys being talked about or asked about? Any at all or nothing?
Not much. But
not even like, hey, do you want coconut husk instead of tire shreds on the turf? Are they asking those questions to Josh Allen or no?
we're grass, brother.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah. Boom. Heated, beautiful
Wow.
in Buffalo.
Hey, that's big. So were you not asked about that? You were asked about that or no?
We were told about it, but it was, we like grass. I've got some turf burns on my legs that make me really like grass.
Josh, Jack, Incredibles reference. It feels like the vibes on offense are at an all-time high. Keon Coleman, it feels like, has also taken a massive step. Last year, I don't know if it was, a lot coming in as a rookie and, maybe it took him a little to learn, but it feels like he's off to an unbelievable start this year. You and him clearly have a really, really good connection. How was that work with him this offseason? Was that something you two were together for a lot? Was it more so training camp? And then you mentioned it being a really good offseason for you. Was that because you worked out with Drake May and he explained to you how to be, one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL? Was that kind of how, how to be a back-to-back MVP? Was that the whole thing? And as a New England Patriots fan, let me just say, thank you so much for helping him play quarterback, brother. I can already see it helping. I can already see it.
Listen, I haven't done anything for Drake. We got to spend a little bit of time together. He is a fantastic kid, though. I tell you that. He plays the game the right way. He's got a really good head on his shoulders. I'm a huge fan of his. We have I think we share the same agency, so we've been around each other a couple times. But again, just down to earth kid. But going back to the Keon question, yeah, just the work that we've put in training camp, it obviously paid dividends in week 1. Week 2 and 3, a little bit different game plan style, but still being there and opportunities to make some plays for us, and he's been doing a good job with that.
You talked about training camp. Do you hate or love Hard Knocks? I thought you came across very well. Obviously, I've never been around you for a season or any of your training camp stuff, so I assume it's just status quo for you. But, man, I love the way you lead. Did you enjoy Hard Knocks in there, or did you guys hate it like some people do?
You know what? They did such a good job of communicating with us, understanding, how we felt about it. I'd be the first one to say that I wasn't very excited for it. But the crew, NFL Films, did such a good job. We knew exactly where they were at all times. We know who was mic'd up when we were mic'd up. We had the opportunity to really feel like we were ourselves and trust that they were going to put the best versions of ourselves out there. So it was much better than I anticipated. And glad that, people finally got to see what a winning organization looks like. Typically it's been, teams that are coming off a bad season or a new coach or a new quarterback it was fun.
Spotlighting your fans too. It was cool. All of it was cool. I really enjoyed your guys' Hard Knocks. Now, I'm not saying I don't enjoy other Hard Knocks, but I think Hard Knocks had potentially lost its luster a little bit, okay, because social media teams and digital teams, but then getting a chance to learn about you and how the Buffalo Bills operate, especially with how much respect we have for the building, it was cool. I'm very happy you guys did that. AJ actually has picked you guys every single game because he watched 10 minutes of the first episode. Ain't that right, AJ?
Yeah, I don't know exactly which episode it was. Connor McGovern's wife, he was talking with his wife, and she said, oh, yeah, we broke camp. He finally broke camp after all this time, and 10 minutes after he was home, he called all of his buddies or texted all of his O-lineman buddies and asked them if they want to go bowling or wanted to hang out. And she's like, we just got you home. You've been gone for a month or whatever. And I felt like watching that. I'm like, these dudes are a team. These guys love each other. These guys hang out. And then I see you being a jackass all over the practice field in between. And that's what makes me really solidify.
Love that.
Like, this dude is the leader and they love him. And you have, all your different names for everybody. That's something has that grown as you've been there with the Buffalo Bills? Did you know it was a special place when you first got there? And how have you grown into that role?
No, it's been a special place since I've got there. And I take a lot of pride when players go to other teams and they come back and they're like, you know what, it's just not like this everywhere else. And I can't speak to how other places are. I'm sure there's places that are similar to us, but I'm sure there's places that aren't even close to what we got going on in our building. The type of vibes and friendships and the relationships that we're able to build here in Buffalo. Because, like you alluded to with Connor, we can send out a text and be like, hey, come hang out. And guys are at your house in 5 to 10 minutes. Everyone seems like we live very close to each other.
It's like college.
It's very much like a college atmosphere, and it's something that I completely cherish. And there's a proponent of it is like there's not many distractions. We can focus on football, but at the end of the day, it's the relationships and the friendships that you form. Because I do genuinely believe that if you trust somebody off the field, you're going to trust them more on the field.
Yes.
Absolutely, playing for each other as opposed to just alongside each other. I think that's a big deal. I've heard you've hosted a lot of different events, right? Wasn't there free agency stuff you had at your house, and then we heard about, and then gatherings.
That
I
big
love
Halloween party.
Doing
Yep.
that.
The circus.
Yeah, the Halloween. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I like when the quarterback's doing that, and like legit, that's an obligation. I assume you feel as the leader of the team.
Obligation, no, but it's something that I love doing. I love football because, again, I get to go out there and do what I love doing, but there's just nothing better than the job that I have, to go and hang out with the boys. I know it's hard work when we're in the building and there's meetings upon meetings, walkthroughs and practice, but some of the relationships and the conversations that you're able to have inside of a NFL locker room and a quarterback room, it's relationships and friendships that I'll cherish forever. And it's just the best job in the world. And I just love getting to do it.
Do you guys still have Jamal up there? Okay, Tone has the last question for you. Josh. Okay.
Josh, I am a Steelers fan, so I think it's easy for me, but your career arc kind of reminds me so much of Big Ben, like a huge athletic guy coming out of a small school who started as someone who was just a lot of backyard ball and then turned into an elite thrower of the football. Was there anyone that, like, when you were coming up that you watched to model your game after? When you do make a backyard play versus one where you hit like your 5th step or 7th step and it's just a perfect throw, which one do you like better?
That's a good question.
I like that.
Playing on
That's
time,
the question, Tone. That's the
a good
journalism, Tone.
Playing on timing is great. When you're able to take that 7th step and trust your guy and put the ball out before he breaks, there's something special about that. But there's also something special about extending a play, putting your finger up.
Yeah, there is.
Having him do what you're doing. It feels like you're playing a video game, So one of the guys that I grew up obviously watching and loving and trying to emulate was Aaron. I know he's a big pal of the show. But I've gotten to know Aaron over the last few years and again, someone that I completely looked up to on the football field. And I'm still just trying to find, he still throws the heck out of the ball and just trying to find more ways to tighten up my mechanics. And he's such a good person to watch for me.
Yeah, for so long, he's 41, still moving out there, still spinning it. Arm, you guys feel, and AJ says this about Aaron, obviously, he hangs out with him, is closer than we all are. We've only got to meet him over the last few years. AJ's known him for a long time. AJ, we saw him at out at Tahoe. He was at the American Century. We're staying at Aaron's place. He rented an awesome place. I'm sure you've seen it, out there on the lake. And we're out in the water, and he's up on the top deck. And somebody calls for a beer down in there. And Aaron I think he just woke up, literally just woke up, goes into the fridge, grabs a beer, 12-ounce wide, steps out onto this deck, and he just hawks this thing into, no warm-up, nothing. He's 38 maybe at the time, 39 years old. Just no warm-up, just bang. And this thing, maybe 60 yards, this beer can, just through. hits tube that guy's sitting on, too. Like, and, so I'm a little boozed up at this time. So I'm like, what is this? Like, a whole question. And AJ goes, he'll be able to throw anything for the rest of his life. Like, I feel like you are a similar person. People talk about your arm talent. Has it always been that you just had an incredible arm, like baseball growing up? Has it always kind of been that way? And do you elite throwers of shit think that you'll be able to do that forever for whatever reason?
I think so. I personally believe the way I learned to throw back in the, at the ranch, going in the backyard, and we had a shop and it was just all gravel. We had a big like trash dump, and I just pick up rocks and I just chuck them and try to throw them in there. So that's how I think learned how to like throw it and mechanically, just figuring it out by myself. So that's I think we'll be able to do it forever.
I don't know, we got one of these. We got some
Can you
of these.
skip them? Can you skip them on a pond?
Yeah,
I bet you're a pretty good skipper.
Yeah.
I can skip a good rock now.
Okay.
Have you seen the World Skipping Championships? Has a little controversy.
man.
Have you seen this?
What'd they do?
I have not.
The rock skipping contest, the national one. This is a real thing.
Yes.
Okay, some of these guys are getting like 60, 70. Unbelievable, okay? They're doing deep submarine tosses. Obviously, any of us that have ever skipped a rock understand that's the right way to do it. They're manipulating these rocks, Josh. These guys are cheating. These guys are cheating.
They sand
And they're
it
winning
down.
They're
thousands of dollars.
greasing rocks.
They're greasing these rocks. They're shining them down.
messed up.
Can't do that, Josh.
Not a good look. Not a good look for the the rock skipping community. It hurts my
Big
heart.
one. It's a big one.
Flag football, you going to do it? Olympics?
If I get asked, I'd absolutely want to compete for my country. Yeah.
Yes.
If you don't get asked,
You would
we
be
got a
awesome,
problem.
right? Flag football, you'd be awesome in flag football, I think.
I would hope so, but again, these guys are playing it year round, and
Don't
Stop
stop
it.
it.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't do that. We're not doing that.
You're Josh
Okay,
Allen.
before we let you go, and we appreciate you joining us on this glorious Feel Good Friday, especially for you guys, 3-0. Congratulations. My wife texted me in the middle of this. She very rarely does this. I know you don't care, she says. Okay? I do care. I would like to let you know before I read the rest of this message. I do care. Okay? Josh Allen's lady is in the show, Emily Dickinson. I love that show. You should ask him if he runs lines with her. Do you do any of that? Do you assist?
I wouldn't say we run lines. I mean, she reads all of her scripts by herself, and she'll give me some updates on them. But we will at some points kind of just go off and do some improv stuff.
Ooh.
So
Yes.
it's pretty fun.
Ooh.
My wife, she's an absolute stud. She's the best. What can I say?
Mega talent, both of you. When two greats are together, it's good for society. We appreciate the hell out of you, man. And tell D we said hello, okay?
All right, tell Wilma I said hello.
All right, that's Josh Allen. Josh Allen. Josh Allen. All right, sweet.